Hey there out there, Chef Jerome Judge here, aka Chef Big Head. Welcome to another episode of Recipes Off the Rails. Alrighty then, welcome back to the Bloated Chef LLC. Chef Jerome Judge here, aka Chef Big Head, of course. And on the big boost block, what do we have today? Staring at a couple of big old chicken breasteses. Looks like a big old bag of spinach. There's some leftover mushrooms from the previous tutorial, as well as a little bit of stuffing there in the background. We got some chopped scallions, some leftover fresh herbs, and a couple 4 wedges of baby Brie. And guess what? We are going to split these open, stuff them. We're going to stick them in a bag and circulate them with my sous vide water circulator. And then we are going to take them out and pan, baste, and roast them. Mushroom and Brie stuffed chicken, coming at you bloated chef style. All right, now then, my peeps, here's what we do. I suggest you all buy one of these sharpening steels. It hones the blade. You don't have to grind it. And it really just keeps your blade sharp and clean at the same time. So we'll go ahead and dry off these chicken breasteses. All right, we'll lay them down, and then we'll go about doing a tad bit of butchering. Not much included. You want to take that pin bone right out of the middle of the breast, as little of the meat as you can do. Now look, the edge there's this little sinewy connective tissue. If you slice that and then pull that little piece of fat off the side, you'll have a nice tender chicken and it won't tense up on you, okay? Now, we'll go ahead and just take that fillet knife and stick it about 2.5 inches in the middle of that big breasteses. Make sure it's a good sized chicken, as you can see. And as usual, people, when you're working with raw chicken, sanitize your cutting board, okay? So now, preheated pan, of course, and always, we'll add a little bit of oil and a tad bit of butter, and then go our mushrooms. Now, we're not going to do any onions or anything like that because we've got that stuffing left over. So we're going to saute these down, reduce them down, season them up, salt and pepper, of course. And at this point, we're just going to go ahead and saute them and sweat them down. And now we throw in our spinach and arugula mix and season that as well. Season at every level, people. Every level. And now we're going to jump off the rails here a tad bit by throwing in some Marsala wine and deglazing. About a 1/4 cup. Not too much. Just enough to perfume the mushrooms mix. Alright, so in the classic French style of deglazing, we will look. All of the alcohol is cooked out. It's all good and dry. And we're ready to pull. And then we'll get our butcher's twine all together because we are going to wrap these. We're going to seal them nice and tight. Now then, we're going to take that cooled mushroom and greens mixture and take some of that beautiful ricotta mix from a previous tutorial. Check it out. And now we're going to go ahead and open up those breasteses and stuff them. We're going to take about 2 good hefty tablespoons. And then we're going to take that big chunk of Brie cheese, which I stuck in the freezer. Little savvy secret. I'm going to stuff that in there as well. And now we'll go ahead and truss and or tie these bad boys. And you don't have to get too technical with it. Just make sure that you have a good seal and that none of those goodies will be able to seep out, okay? And now we'll snip off all those loose ends, tighten them up, and now they're ready to be seasoned, which consists of some good old sage and chive cannabis oil. We'll get a little salt and pepper, of course, but the real key to this dish is the addition of these fresh herbs, rosemary and oregano, and just crust them up. It's going to make a big difference. All right, people, time for the miracle of technology. Here's the app that you use for your sous vide mixer. You go to chicken breast, you pick your temperature, in this case 158 degrees, and you pick how thick and how fresh it is. And you hit start, and look, that water just starts going. Now, while that's heating up, we're going to take those tightened up trussed chicken breasteses, and we're going to roll them nice and tight in some plastic. That's one more layer of protection. Okay, and from here, we will go ahead and put them into a Ziploc bag. That's right, you don't need a sous vide bag. You can buy Ziploc bags on the cheap. Just make sure you fold them over and remove as much of the air out of there as possible. And then these things are ready to be sous vide'd. Alright, so that water is now heated at 158 degrees, circulating, no more, no less. That's going to make a super tender chicken when it's done, okay? Now, 90 minutes later, we've let them cool. And now these are going to go right into the fridge to get them chilled all the way completely. In the meantime, we're going to start a little basic rice recipe here. 2 cups water, 1 cup brown rice, but a little pinch of bacon fat in the bottom of the pan. A little salt and pepper. Go ahead and get that to a boil, and then that will kill the heat. And at this point, you want to add something that's going to give that rice a little flavor. I threw in some leftover chimichurri, but do what you will. Now then, our chicken is completely cooled. Still trussed. We're not going to take that butcher's twine off just yet. We're going to go into that pan, preheated, of course, a couple hefty tablespoons of butter, and a good-sized tablespoon of rosemary and thyme oil. And goes the roulade. And now begins the basting. Yes, oil, butter, all of the beautiful rendering from those fresh herbs and seasonings. You just keep basting and basting and rolling and basting and basting and rolling and basting. Now here's the beauty. We're going to start a little quick pan sauce. Throw some shallots, some sliced garlic, and those chopped Scotch bonnet peppers. Yep. Keep sauteing, let it go. I'm going to take the last of this beautiful bottle of Spanish sherry, and we're going to deglaze. And then right here, we're going to add that fresh, heavy cream. And now, in the classic style, the French style, we're going to go ahead and shut the heat off and add that butter. And what we'll have is this beautiful, silky smooth sauce. We're going to go ahead and strain that, and off we go. Alright, next step, we've set aside that sauce in a different pan now on very low heat and let that simmer and reduce. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and get those snow peas that we've split in half, saute them with some salt and pepper and olive oil, and then add the spinach and arugula just for a side of greens that we can eat. Slicing it on the bias, oh so tender. Now we'll go ahead and drop that greens mix, snow pea mix down, a little scoop of rice, and now we lay that beautiful silky sauce across the top. And guess what, folks? Yeah, just drown it all in that sauce, because it's killer. Let's go ahead and try that stuffed chicken first. Look at this stuffing. Yummy!
Yummy!
And now we test the chimichurri rice. Yeah, I got a feeling this is going to be great too.
So good. It's so simple. Follow the steps. Follow the steps. Hope you enjoyed this. Look out for the next one. Peace and love to all. I'm out.
good people. Time to head over to my YouTube channel at the Bloated Chef LLC, of course. Smash that subscribe button. Maybe graze over that like button. And let's start getting to 1,000 subscriptions. We're doing it for charity's sake. Thanks so much.